Anatomy of the human brain. Brain is most complex organ of the body. Only weighs 1,300 grams. Contains billions of neural networks that interact to create human behavior and activity. Development of brain start with the development of embryo. The brain has three main anatomical divisions: forebrain, cerebrum; midbrain, hindbrain, pons, medulla, and cerebellum. The protective coverings of the brain. Cranial bones and cranial meninges protect the brain. Cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, is a clear, colorless liquid composed primarily of water that protects the brain and spinal cord from chemical and physical injuries. It also carries small amounts of oxygen, glucose, and other needed chemicals from the blood to neurons and neuroglia. CSF continuously circulates through cavities in the brain and spinal cord and around the brain and spinal cord in the subarachnoid space, the space between the arachnoid motor and pia motor. Major parts of the brain. The adult brain consists of four major parts. 1. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the seat of intelligence. It provides us with the ability to read, write, and speak, to make calculations and compose music, and to remember the past, plan for the future, and imagine things that have never existed before. The cerebrum consists of an outer cerebral cortex, an internal region of cerebral white matter, and gray matter nuclei deep within the white matter. 2. Cerebellum. Smooths and coordinates contractions of skeletal muscles, regulates posture and balance, may have role in cognition and language processing. 3. Diencephalon. Thalamus. It is relays almost all sensory input to cerebral cortex, contributes to motor functions by transmitting information from cerebellum and basal nuclei to primary motor area of cerebral cortex, plays role in maintenance of consciousness. Hypothalamus. Controls and integrates activities of autonomic nervous system. Produces hormones, including releasing hormones, inhibiting hormones, oxytocin, and antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Regulates emotional and behavioral patterns, together with limbic system. Contains feeding and satiety centers, regulate eating, thirst center. Controls body temperature by serving as body's thermostat. Forebrainstem. Midbrain, superior colliculi, coordinate movements of head, eyes, and trunk in response to visual stimuli. Inferior colliculi coordinate movements of head, eyes, and trunk in response to auditory stimuli. Substantia nigra and red nucleus contribute to control of movement. Pons contain sensory and motor tracts. Pontine nuclei relay nerve impulses from motor areas of cerebral cortex to cerebellum. Help control breathing. Medulla oblongata contains sensory and motor tracts. Cardiovascular center regulates heartbeat and blood vessel diameter. Medullary rhythmicity area, together with pons, regulates breathing. Reticular formation, also in pons, midbrain, and diencephalon, functions, consciousness and arousal. The limbic system. Hypothalamus, pituitary, amygdala, and hippocampus all deal with basic drives, emotions, and memory. Hippocampus deal with memory processing. Amygdala deal with aggression, fight, and fear, flight. Hemispheres of brain. The brain has two sides. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere. Functional differences between right and left hemispheres. Left-handed people are the only ones in their right mind. Left hemisphere functions. Somatic sensory signals from, and controls muscles on, right side of body. 2. Reasoning. 3. Numerical and scientific skills. Ability to use and understand sign language. 5. Spoken and written language. Right hemisphere functions. Receives somatic sensory signals from, and controls muscles on, left side of body. 1. Musical and artistic awareness. 2. Space and pattern perception. 3. Recognition of faces and emotional content of facial expressions. 4. Generating emotional content of language. 5. Generating mental images to compare spatial relationships. 6. Identifying and discriminating among odors. The lobes of the cerebral hemispheres. One. Frontal lobe deal with planning, decision-making, speech. 2. Parietal lobe deal with sensory. 3. Occipital lobe deal with vision. 4. Temporal lobe deal with auditory. 5. Corpus callosum. It is large bundle of neural fibers, myelinated axons, or white matter, connecting the two hemispheres.